Hello and welcome to my channel. I would like to talk with you today about how much does the Camino actually cost. I just am aware that we are ahead of the season, and taking into account what's happening in the world, I think Camino can be crowded right now because people looking for a kind of holiday. Probably they change direction from Asia and Africa or South Arabia, I don't know, to looking for more calm places. So I think Spain, Portugal, or Canary Islands could be much better choice right now. So basically, the season on the Camino start about April to October. So how much does the Camino actually cost? Because I did on a budget, I still somehow went over it. I did some research before leaving, but I have to admit that most guidebooks and application, like phone application, weren't yet updated. It was the post-pandemic period, the war in Ukraine had begun, and electricity and gas prices had risen. So you just can imagine that obviously the prices were a little bit different. They shifted, in that time when I've been there. So the most important is what kind of route you will choose. I choose the Camino Frances, and is the most popular route and usually the easiest to plan on a budget, because I didn't have full month. I started in Burgos instead. However, if you start on the French border, there is obviously more choices, like more albergues, coffee shops, more cities than the other. There is the one route, it's going through the mountain by the sea, and there is one route from Portuguese as well. So it's like a more or less countryside. So I know from my friends who are doing both of this road is less opportunities and much less albergues than on the French route. So I think if you start doing this first time, the Camino Frances will be the best choice. So if you short on time, like me, that is a great option to do just only part of the Camino. Besides, I met a lot of persons who weren't featured in my Camino series. If you haven't been watched yet, there is the link above. If you haven't done this journey on YouTube yet, I really want to encourage to do that. So you can have a look how the Camino looks like in real, because there wasn't any plan, that wasn't directed by me. I just took camera and I was trying to record whatever I could. And then I met a lot of people who haven't been featured in my video because they didn't want to be recorded. But I remember a guy who simply walked back and forth, ran into a car on the Camino, parked and walked with other people for 2 or 3 days. Then he drove to another section of the Camino. I met him 3 times. Even on the last day I reached Santiago, we met outside the city. And this inspired me to think it will be a great idea to drop in for a few days and enjoy the pilgrimage. So I think about it that maybe this is a good idea. If you have just, for example, a day or two, just go there, just, sneaking somewhere around pilgrims and obviously enjoy the time with them. So I also met a couple who had been doing the Camino for about 7 years. They left their home in Slovakia, walked for about 2 weeks, and then returned home each year. And they returned to the spot where they left of the previous year and continue moving forward. It was incredible. I met them all day. Actually, I met them a day where entering Santiago. So actually, I was on the end of their beautiful journey. They were very touched, moved by this experience, and obviously, I didn't want to take away that moment for an interview, but I remember this very, very clearly. Okay, Transport is difficult to tell you how much it will cost because everyone travel from different place. I flew from the UK to Madrid and I paid 120 pounds, booking a few months in advance. And then I took a bus to Burgos with Alza, bus provider. Absolutely brilliant, Alza. I would just leave you a link below this video because if you're planning to travel, Alza is absolutely great. It's affordable, it's very comfortable, there's internet on board, TV for free and so on. I think I spent about 20 pounds from Madrid to Burgos, and then I was coming back from Santiago to Madrid as well for about 40-50 euros as well. So I'm aware that you will be living from different places, so the process will be different. The prices, your ticket price will be different, but it's definitely better to buy it in advance. I remember that people who were traveling from South America and they were able to even spend $800 per ticket. So transport could be expensive, but as I said, it depends where you're going from. So gear. I made a separate video on what to pack, so the link is over here. If not, because I'm just recording and I'm not sure that I will be able to put that link. If not, that I will leave on the description below this video. I assume that most of you have things like many can be both at an auction or charity shop. I personally didn't buy anything because I had everything. If someone treks, hikes in the mountain, they are basically ready for the Camino. If not, definitely a 30-40 liters backpack cost, I don't know, about $50 for better quality. I had my old one and I lent the second one to Violetta, my friend, who went with me. So I encourage you to ask friends, because if this is your only trip, there's no point in overpaying. I follow the principle of economical traveling, so, you know, remember that you're going during the warm seasons. As I said, Camino season is April to October, and Spain is basically warm, so you don't need any expensive sleeping bag. Mine cost about $10, and I bought it in charity shop, to be fair, and I never had cold night. So yeah, basically it's pretty good. That even the cheapest one, which you can buy in the discount shop. Daily budget, we were thinking about 25-30 pounds, including accommodation. In reality, it was more like 12 to 15 euros per night instead of 7 to 10. Sometimes we stayed for public albergues for 5 euros. But that you need to be ready that there is a lack of water, or it's cold water, or once we had the situation with bed bugs and we have to very quickly leave this place, and almost we had to sleep outside because all albergue was full. But on the end of the day, we find, very nice guy who just agreed to give us, space in one full albergue, and we were able to sleep that night. But that was really difficult because that day we did about 45 kilometers, and we really reached the village when it was just only 2 albergue, and one was with these bed bugs. So it was the panic mode. Like, we were thinking that probably that night we had to sleep outdoor. But yeah, so be prepared that the cost could be a little bit higher than before. Even now, it could be a little bit higher. So I think you're supposed to think about 15 euros per night. That is optional price. Okay, the next point, food. Breakfasts are sweet in Spain, so we bought our own food daily, like nuts, eggs, dry sausages, snacks. Because not everyone accept toast with jam or sweet porridge or pastries, because this is what usually the host serve you in the breakfast. Once a week, we treated ourselves to a pilgrim's menu, because in lots of restaurants provided kind of pilgrim's menu. and usually it costs about 10 to 12 euros. There is 3 meals, like this is the main meal. There is the dessert to choose, and there is the bottle of wine or bottle of water or bottle of orange juice. So that is good, but to be fair, we just I allowed myself to do that kind of food fiesta once per week. And because Violetta, my friend, she had all food requirements. She couldn't eat gluten, so for her that meal wasn't appropriate to her issue. And I need to have scrambled eggs every morning, avocado, and I'm taking energy from eating fats mostly and protein. So obviously I wasn't full after sweet breakfast. So definitely after 2 days we start buying our own food. So real daily spend it was about 35 pounds, no pounds, I think it would be euros, 35 euros per day. There was like approximately. So a return, we took a night bus from Santiago to Madrid with Elsa, and I think I spent 45 pounds. So because of that solution, we didn't have to sleep in Santiago, take more expensive hotel, because I'm not sure there was albergue. No, probably there is albergue. But the next day we had the flight, and that was 10 hours drive from that's funny. We were going 3 weeks, and that was just only 10 hours drive by bus. That was very tough night because we were very tired. And there was a lot of people who were traveling with us to Madrid to get to the airport. It was a nightmare, yeah. It was a nightmare, but we had to catch our flight, so we had to go. Doing Camino, when you reach albergue, there's always this reception or separate room when you have to leave your shoes. And then everyone going to take a shower. So smell is nice, it's really cozy. But in this bus, like everyone went to Cathedral, and there was possibility to take a shower, and everyone took shoes off. Oh my gosh, the smell rising, and 10 hours drives. All my trips I was traveling like that. I said, oh my god, when we reach Madrid, because I can't do that anymore. So yeah, that was that. But that was the option to save money as well, because we could sleep in a bus, because otherwise we would have to take hostel in Santiago. But we couldn't do that because we reached Santiago 15th, and 16th of the September we had a flight back, so we had to get to Madrid straight away. So we reached Madrid 8 o'clock morning, and our flight, we had late flight. So we just stay in Madrid, just sightseeing. I've never been there. It was nice day. Yeah. So, summarize. You can do Camino cheap, but comfort adds up. The Camino can be done on a low budget if you are willing to accept a simpler condition and limited comfort. However, every added convenience, such as better accommodation, private rooms, or more frequent meals out, gradually increase the overall cost, and in the end the total expenses largely depends on personal preferences and the level of comfort you choose. So anyway, yeah, it cost me 35 pounds per day, so this is about $30 per day. And I'm just wondering, do you think it's a lot? I'm survived, but I'm not it much. Yeah, I'm just wondering your opinion, like, would you be able to survive for $30 per day? Just leave the comments below what you think, and obviously any question, just let me know, and just leave the comment, and I will be able to answer if I just missed something. Sorry, I've got we are 3 days before Easter, and I've got so much work to do, and I'm really running with the second channel yet. Yeah, anyway, guys, happy Easter time for you, and I hope so we met somewhere, in the Camino, maybe. Ciao.